Heartwarming discovery. How a single dad janitor transformed her life after 30 unexpected moments. Jake was a janitor at Lincoln High in Chicago, a detail so mundane it could slip through the cracks unnoticed. But within the dull hum of mop buckets and flickering fluorescent lights, he was a warrior, fighting each day to provide for his brilliant yet troubled 16-year-old daughter, Lily. With every push of his mop, he wiped away the grime and reminders of their struggles, determined to make their meager existence shine a little brighter. They shared a small, crumbling apartment filled with laughter, love, and the harsh bite of economic hardship. Despite the stains of their lives, the bond they shared felt unbreakable until the day it didn't. One frigid November afternoon, as Jake busily polished the floors, voices echoed through the hallway's students, with their careless laughter, taunting Lily. It cut through Jake like a knife. Look at her, the janitoress kid. Thinks she's better than us. As he scrubbed stubborn stains, his heart sank. He could feel Lily's hurt radiating through the air, reminding him just how acutely their life set them apart. His chest tightened as he listened to their laughter. It was a cruel reminder of the stigma they'd both faced. Lily, a genius in the making, had started to retreat into herself. Pressures mounted at school, and she got lost amid feeling inadequate. Jake wanted to help, but even as a devoted father, he couldn't understand the depths of her struggle, the burden of living with the labeled janitor's daughter. Each day became a silent push and pull, leaving both feeling alone in their battle. But in the quiet corners of Lincoln High, Jake was finding small ways to make an impact. He helped a student pick up his books after a bitter breakup, offered a gentle word of encouragement to those floundering in their classes. The students didn't realize that behind each act of kindness, Jake was pouring his heart into what it meant to be seen. Those 30 unexpected moments of compassion rippled through their school, tight-knit threads weaving a greater community. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the school announced a competition recognizing unsung heroes, anticipation built among the students and staff alike. To Jake, it felt like whimsical hope wrapped in a dream that made his heart race. But when Lily's peers discovered his identity, her anxiety morphed into embarrassment. The heart-wrenching push of Lily's voice echoed in their small apartment. I don't want to be known as the janitor's daughter, as tears streamed down her cheeks. It shattered Jake. In that moment, he realized that being seen was not a blessing for her. It was a curse. As the competition drew near, students buzzed with excitement, diving deep into discussions of heroism. Was it really achieved through accolades? Could a janitor, often overlooked, become a beacon of hope? With the revelation of Jake's identity looming, the strained tension between father and daughter reached its peak. Jake, standing humble yet firm, prepared to face the spotlight, craved validation. Would his daughter reach out in this moment of need? And, more importantly, would they finally begin to hear each other amidst the storm? The morning sun filtered through the grimy windows of the Lincoln High gym, illuminating the bustling space where students milled about, rehearsing their speeches for the upcoming Unsung Heroes competition. Jake leaned against the wall, hoping to blend into the background. He wiped a bead of sweat from his brow, a mix of anxiety and determination stirring within him. Lily was somewhere in the crowd, flanked by her friends, not laughing, not smiling, just watching the spectacle unfold like a closely held secret she wished to forget. As the announcements began, Jake's heart raced. Each name called felt like a dagger. He bit his lip and glanced at Lily. Her face was tense, brows knitted together. The potential for recognition hung heavy in the air, an irony that made Jake's chest ache. How could he gather courage in a place where his very existence felt like a threat to his daughter's peace? Next, we welcome Mr. Jake Thompson. The teacher's voice rung out, startling him from his thoughts. Shockwaves of whispers rippled through the crowd. Jake's name echoed in his ears as he stood there, rooted to the spot. He caught a glimpse of Lily's eyes, wide and against the wishes of her heart. The moment stung like a slap, But there was no turning back. With each step to the front, dread clawed at him. He felt the weight of students' eyes upon him, the gravity of his situation settling deep in his bones. "Hello, my name is Jake," he began, focusing on his daughter's anxious face in the audience. His voice grew steadier as he spoke about kindness and connection, his motivation bubbling up from a place of deep love for Lily. In life, we often overlook those who silently carry heavy burdens. To me, being a janitor isn't about being invisible. It's about making everyday life a little brighter for someone else. Cheers erupted, but Jake's gaze was on Lily. She sat stiffly, a mixture of pride and anguish written across her face. He recalled the late-night conversations, the fears she had shared, the dreams she believed were slipping away. The distance between them felt like a chasm, deepening with each word. How could he reach her, bring them back to a shared path? Everyone can be a hero in the small things they do, he finished awkwardly, avoiding the applause. He felt like a pin dropped in a quiet room. Lily ran out of the gym, her footsteps echoing against the polished floor. Jake's heart sank as the words janitor's daughter clung stubbornly to the air. It felt as if he had let down the most important person in his life. He followed her outside, where the autumn sun glimmered against the crisp sidewalk. "Lily," he called, his voice shaky. She spun around, anger and hurt flashing through her eyes. "I didn't mean to embarrass you. I just wanted them to see what, Dad? That I'm the janitor's daughter?" Lily interrupted, her voice rising. "You don't get it. I want to be known for your brilliance." He interjected, desperate. "I know that. But hiding from who I am, who we are isn't the answer. I thought if they could see that kindness matters, that it comes from all walks of life, I need you to stop." Lily's voice trembled. "I don't want to be known for you. I want to be recognized, respected." Pain twisted in Jake's gut. He felt like a storm was brewing, and he had no idea how to calm it. "I just want to protect you." "Protect me from what?" "This." She gestured around them, the autumn leaves dancing in the wind, their very home bubbling with misinterpretation. In that charged moment, the world around them disappeared. An understanding flickered, almost palpable, like the crisp air holding its breath. If they could just talk, really talk, but could they find the words through the turmoil? Jake gripped the edge of the railing, torn between his desire to protect and the need for connection. A sudden thought hit him, one big question that could change everything. "Lily, what do you really want?" As her silence stretched long, tension filling the air, Jake wondered if this was the turning point they both so desperately needed. Would she let him in? The silence hung heavy between them, filled with unspoken fears and dreams. Jake searched Lily's face for any sign of where to go from here, but she seemed miles away. He could almost see the thoughts racing in her mind. The hurt was palpable, a barrier neither of them knew how to break. "Dad," her voice was softer now, almost fragile, like glass. "I just don't want to be defined by your job. I want to be seen for who I am, not what I come from." Jake's heart squeezed painfully. "I get it. I do." He took a deep breath, trying to find the right words. "But you're more than just a reflection of me. I thought maybe sharing my story would show you that, even if it's hard to see." "Hard to see?" She scoffed, shaking her head. "It's more like it's impossible. You have no idea what it's like to be me, to be the one always looked down on. And now, it's like you just put a spotlight on everything I'm trying to escape." Each word was a punch, and he felt it acutely. Still, he pushed back the hurt, striving to connect again. "I know I can't take that pain away, and I don't want to make things harder. But I didn't share my story to hurt you. I wanted to give us both strength. She interrupted again, her frustration morphing into anger. "You stood in front of everyone showcasing your struggles, while mine stay hidden. How is that supposed to empower me?" Jake ran a hand through his hair, feeling the weight of every hairline crack. "Because I thought showing them who I am would make them see you too. That it's not who we are that defines us, it's what we do. The kindness, the love." Kindness and love don't change people's perceptions when they see my last name. "When they see you," she shouted, and in her voice, Jake noticed a wavering edge, as if she was teetering on the edge of a cliff. His heart raced. "What do I need to do to make things right?" His words hung in the air, raw and desperate. Lily's expression softened almost imperceptibly. "You could start by understanding. Let me be me first. Help me find my own voice. Not the janitor's daughter, not your daughter, but Lily, the person I want to be." A rush of warmth filled Jake's chest. There was his lifeline. "I want that too," he said. "How about we do this together? I may not know what you want, but let us figure it out." Lily searched his eyes, her breath coming a little easier. "Together," she echoed, letting the words settle like a blanket over both of them. For the first time in what felt like forever, a small smile broke through her anger. "Can we try?" she started slowly, "to get to know each other without the labels?" "Yes." Jake nodded fervently, hope blossoming in his chest. "Let us erase the titles. Just you and me." But what she didn't expect was that this journey would lead her into a deeper understanding of her father than she ever imagined possible. That night, she discovered something that would shake the foundation of their relationship forever. Underneath the flickering light of the small kitchen, Lily felt her heart beating a strange rhythm. She had promised to give him a chance, to help him understand. Yet the thought of digging deeper into the past filled her with an uncomfortable mix of excitement and fear. Could they really move beyond the titles? Or would her father's story only deepen the gap she had tried so hard to flee from? "Okay, Dad," she said finally, her voice steady. "What do we start with?" Jake leaned against the counter, his brows furrowed as he pondered. "How about we talk about the things we both like? You have hobbies, interests, things that make you you." Lily nodded hesitantly. Deep down, she craved this connection, but the noise of doubt still echoed in her mind. What if he saw her passion as a hobby of the janitor's daughter instead of her own? "Well, I love to paint," she murmured, glancing away. "I sometimes go to the art room at school." "Painting? Wow, that's amazing." Jake genuinely seemed intrigued. "What do you paint? Landscapes? Portraits?" "Mostly abstracts," she replied, finally meeting his gaze. "It helps me express things that are hard to say. I pour my feelings onto the canvas." "Like your emotions?" he asked. "Exactly," she said, grateful he was following. "When I'm up there with my brush, nothing else matters. Not last names, not perceptions, just me." A soft smile crept onto Jake's face, and for the first time, he seemed to see beyond the surface. "You know, I never thought about how art could be your escape. I admire that. It takes bravery to show your true self." Her heart leapt. "Thanks, Dad. Can I see some of your work sometime?" "Yeah, I'd like that." The warmth between them felt like sunlight breaking through dark clouds. With newfound courage, Jake shifted the conversation. "And what about me? Have you ever wanted to know more about my life?" Lily chuckled softly, the tension dissolving. "I guess I only saw it from my side. You being the janitor, me feeling chained to that name." Jake rubbed the back of his neck, a sign of anxiety that Lily recognized often. "I never wanted to burden you, Lily. I wanted to provide for you, to ensure you would have the opportunities one didn't see. But I see now we each carry our own struggles." As he spoke, Lily noticed tears shimmering in his eyes. Those tears felt like a bridge, pulling her closer to him. "I want to know. I want to know about you so I can understand better." Jake took a deep breath. "All right, here's a story I've never told anyone." As he began to share fragments of his own life struggles as a child, moments of defeat, and unexpected victories, Lily leaned in, captivated. Each word pulled her deeper, carving a new sense of respect and understanding for the man before her. She found herself smiling, feeling a connection growing. Closing her eyes for just a moment, she whispered, "See? We all have something going on inside." But then Jake spoke again, his voice growing somber. "There's something else, something I've never shared with you." Lily's pulse quickened with anticipation and concern. "What is it?" "I've been keeping it in for so long, it's something that could change everything for us." The weight of his words settled heavy in the air, and her stomach twisted. "What do you mean? What could change everything?" As Jake looked down, a storm of emotions flickered in his eyes, and the air thickened with unspoken revelations. Lily felt herself on the edge of a turning point, waiting breathlessly for the moment that would shape their relationship forever. Would the answers strengthen their bond, or shatter the healing they just started to build? Jake's fingers fidgeted with the edge of the counter, tracing the worn wood as if it held the secrets he was about to reveal. The silence in the kitchen felt like a heavy curtain, obscuring the truth just out of reach. Lily felt a knot tightening in her chest. She watched him, searching his face, trying to decipher the tangled emotions. He started, his voice barely more than a whisper. "I didn't just become a janitor because it was the only job I could find. There's more to it than that, and it's not something I'm proud of." Lily's heart raced. "What are you saying, Dad?" He swallowed hard, the muscles in his throat working. I dropped out of school when I was younger, got caught up in the wrong crowd. A distant look clouded his eyes. I made decisions that led me down a path I didn't want to be on. I lived a life that could have taken me far away from being a janitor if only I had made better choices. Lily's mind whirled. She had always seen her father's job as a mark of failure, yet here he was, admitting to his own past faults. Suddenly, the concept of pride and shame felt more complicated than ever. But you're here now. You took care of me, she said, hoping to reassure him. Because I had to. Jake's voice trembled. I didn't want you to repeat my mistakes. I thought if I worked hard and kept my head down, you'd never know what I truly went through. I wanted to protect you from the hurt. He looked pained, grappling with the weight of his own shield that Lily's heart wrenched. But hiding it doesn't change the past. It just makes it harder for me to know you. I want to know everything, even the bad stuff. Her passion rose, the urge to connect pushing her forward. Suddenly, as if the air shifted, Jake let out a shaky breath. Okay, but you have to promise you won't judge me. You're my daughter, and I've always wanted you to have a better life. Something I never got to have, he said, that vulnerability in his tone cutting through Lily's barriers. I promise, she said softly, her instincts driving her. Just tell me, please. With that, Jake finally opened up about his past, his struggle with addiction during his teenage years, the friends who had turned into influences instead of support, and the eventual bottoming out that forced him to reconsider who he wanted to be. He spoke of moments filled with shame, mixed alongside occasional glimpses of hope, of the day he found grounding in hard work that led him to the janitorial job. Sometimes I see the kids at school, how bright-eyed they were, and it would crush me. I didn't even think about being a father back then, he admitted, emotion leaking into every word. Lily felt a mixture of admiration and sadness. This complex man, shaped by his choices, was still turning his life around one day at a time. Look at you now, she interjected, her voice steadier. You're not just a janitor, you're my dad. You're more than your past. A weak smile flickered on his face, and for a moment, the air felt lighter between them. But Jake's face instantly tensed again. There's something else I haven't told you, he added, his eyebrows knitting together. What now? Lily braced herself, and anxiety gripped her. I've been trying to make amends, and I've found the opportunity to go back to school. I've applied for a night class. He looked down, uncertain. I want to understand more, be better. Tears pricked at Lily's eyes as joy rushed to fill the cracks of their past. That's amazing. But the question remained, hanging fragile in the space before them. But what if I fail again? He whispered, vulnerability returning like an old friend. Lily stepped closer, longing to reach into the depths of her father's fear. Then we'll figure it out together. You're not alone in this anymore. She could feel a shared understanding blooming between them, yet uncertainty lingered in the air. What would the change in Jake's life mean for both of them? Lily found herself waiting for the unknown, eager yet anxious about this new chapter. Are you really ready for this journey? She finally asked, the words soft but heavy. Jake looked up and met her eyes, determination sparking within. With you by my side? Absolutely. In that moment, they both knew they were standing on the brink of something transformative, yet still, a flicker of a secret loomed, casting shadows over their newfound hope. What else could be hidden within the layers of Jake's past? The days that followed felt strange yet exciting. Lily noticed a shift in her dad, and it emanated from the core of his being. Each morning, he seemed to carry a little more light in his steps, a little more purpose in his eyes. She couldn't help but wonder if the night classes were going to unravel a new side of him, a side that might even inspire her own dreams. Jake stacked his cleaning supplies in a precise line on the counter before heading out for another shift. I know it's not a glamorous job, but it's honest work, he said, a new energy underlying his words. Yeah, but it's also a stepping stone for you, Lily replied, the smile on her face brightening the room. She tried to infuse encouragement into her dad's routine, urging him to share snippets of what he learned after class. Sometimes, he'd talk about simple equations or history, his face animated with the passion he once thought he had lost. But while Jake's world was dimming old shadows, another aspect of Lily's life felt more complex. The more she learned about her father, the more her own insecurities crept in. Would she ever be enough? With her father striving to build a better life, She found herself grappling with the same fears. What if she didn't measure up? Being a high school senior, the pressure loomed large. One evening, with her dad deep into his textbooks at the kitchen table, Lily's anxieties bubbled over. "Dad," she started tentatively. He looked up, a pencil hovering above his notes. "Yeah? I'm scared," she admitted, her voice barely steady. "What if I'm not good enough? What if I mess up? You're on this path, and it feels like I have to follow in your footsteps. But what if I can't live up to it?" Jake put down his pencil, the weight of her words settling heavy between them. "Lily, life isn't a straight road. We all stumble. What matters is how we stand up after and keep moving. But I feel like I'm just waiting for my moment to fail, like I'm not made for greatness," she replied, frustration bubbling in her voice. She felt tears welling, the weight of his past clashing with the uncertainty of her future. "You'll find your path, even if it looks different from mine," he reassured her, reaching over the table to squeeze her hand. "And if you fall, I'll be right there to help you get back up." Lily squeezed back, the sensation of warmth spreading through her fingers. In that moment, she saw the struggle of a father reflecting in the eyes of his daughter. They were both navigating their challenges, forging ahead despite fears that could easily consume them. They sat in silence for a moment, the kitchen filled with an unspoken understanding. But then the lingering shadow returned. What if Jake's journey uncovered more than they both anticipated? "Dad," she said cautiously, "what if your past, what if there's more to it? More things you haven't shared?" His face fell, and Lily felt the air around them shift, tightening with suppressed truths. "There's always more," he began, his voice thick. Her heart raced, excitement and dread mingling. "Like what? I want to know." The tone in his voice revealed a crack in the armor he had built. "Sometimes the past isn't just a memory. It can catch up with you in ways you never expected." Lily held her breath, feeling like they were stepping towards something profound, on the edge of revelation. What else could he still be hiding? And just like that, they both knew they were on the verge of yet another turning point, one that could change everything. What secrets were still buried deep within Jake's heart? Jake sat back in his chair, the tension creeping into the lines of his forehead. His gaze drifted to the wall, as if he could see his past shimmering beyond the paint. For Lily, every second stretched like an eternity. She wanted to reach across the table and shake him until he spoke, but the air felt thick with something unsaid. "Dad." Her voice was soft, almost a whisper. He turned back to her, swallowing hard. "There are things in my past that I've kept hidden. Not because I wanted to lie to you, but because they hurt too much." Lily's breath caught in her throat. She'd never envisioned her dad, the familiar figure in her life, as a man with secrets deep, painful histories that could reshape how she saw him. "What hurt you?" she asked, her heart racing. "It's not the past I'm afraid of," he said, his fingers gripping the edge of the table. "It's the impact it might have on you. I don't want you to carry my burdens." "But, Dad, I want to know you completely," she urged, feeling bold yet vulnerable. "You help me face my fears. I want to help you face yours." A silent battle played out across his face. Jake took a deep breath, and for a moment, the years faded away. "There was a time when life didn't feel so hopeful," he began, his voice steady but thick with emotion. "After your mom left, everything broke. I was lost in a dark place. I made choices I regret, choices that shaped who I became." Lily's chest tightened. It felt too raw, but she leaned in, needing to hear more. "What happened?" He hesitated, eyes searching for the right words before finally saying, "After the separation, I lost my way. I turned to things that made it easier to forget. I hurt people I cared about, and I lost myself in the process." The sadness in his voice filled the room. For the first time, Lily didn't see just her dad, but a man who had fought demons, just like her. "You're not that person anymore, though," she said softly. "You've changed." Jake nodded slowly, the corners of his mouth lifting in a ghost of a smile. "I fought to change, Lily. Every day, I work to be better for you, for myself. I don't want you to go through the same struggles I did." "I'm just terrified," she confessed, suddenly overwhelmed. "What if I mess things up like you did? What if I become my worst self?" His hand found hers again, their fingers intertwined. "That's the beauty of life. It's about learning and growing. You need to stumble before you can stand up strong. It's okay to be scared, but don't let it stop you." She felt a warmth swell inside her, a small flicker of hope igniting. Maybe their struggles didn't define them. Maybe it was how they chose to move forward that truly mattered. Can we promise each other? She asked after a long pause. That we'll share our truth? Whatever it is, we'll face it together. Absolutely, he replied, a spark rekindling in his eyes. As they spoke, the weight on both their shoulders began to lighten. The kitchen felt brighter, as if they were sharing a secret only they could understand, one that would bring them closer. Yet, under the surface, shadows still lingered. Just then, a soft knock on the door interrupted them. Lily, you coming to the party? It was her best friend, Ellie, calling from outside. Jake frowned at the intrusion, but Lily couldn't help but feel a tug of excitement. I'll be right there, she shouted back, unsure of what this evening would mean for her newfound understanding that as she turned back to her dad. He smiled, pulling her into a hug. Go have fun. Life is about balance, too, you know. Lily nodded, feeling a push of mixed emotions as she reached for the door. But as she stepped out, she couldn't shake the feeling that whatever left unsaid tonight might just lead to more revelations waiting around the corner. What else would Jake have to confess? And what might Lily discover about herself in that journey? Lily stepped outside, the party's excitement washing over her like a wave. The music pulsed from across the street, where the soft glow of string lights wrapped around Ellie's backyard, creating an inviting tapestry of laughter and chatter. But the warmth of the party felt muted against the gravity that still hung in her chest as she walked towards the gathering. She couldn't help but replay her conversation with Jake in her mind. His revelations echoed in her thoughts, his fights, his regrets. The man she thought she knew was more complex than she'd ever imagined. She felt a mix of compassion for him and an unsettling anxiety about facing her own challenges. Ellie spotted her and waved enthusiastically. Finally, I was starting to think you'd stand me up, she teased, pulling Lily into a tight hug. You look serious. Did something happen? Not really. Just family stuff, Lily replied, trying to smile, but her heart felt heavy. She hadn't yet figured out how to share what had just unfolded with her dad. Come on, let us have some fun. I made a playlist just for you, Ellie said, dragging her toward the thrumming energy of the crowd. The scent of barbecue filled the air, and laughter rang around them like music. As they mingled, Lily caught snippets of conversations that felt light years away from her own. Friends were discussing crushes and summer plans, while she felt wrapped in a cocoon of uncertainty. She wanted to join in, but found herself lost in her thoughts instead. Hey, you okay? Ellie asked, nudging Lily playfully. You're zoning out on me. Yeah, just a bit overwhelmed, Lily admitted, glancing away. Tonight's kind of a big deal for a lot of reasons. Are you worried about the party? Ellie said, tilting her head, clearly trying to understand. I mean, is something bothering you about it? Lily opened her mouth to respond, her mind racing to find the words. What if she opened up about her dad? Would that feel like too much, too soon? She took a breath and decided to take a leap. Actually, it's my dad. He just shared something really personal, and it's been weighing on me. Ellie's expression softened, her eyes filled with compassion. Do you want to talk about it? I'm here for you. Lily felt touched by her friend's kindness. Not yet, not fully, but she hesitated, searching for the right words. I just realized he's human, you know? Like, he's my dad, but he's also just a guy who has messed up sometimes. Ellie's face brightened. That's huge. Realizing that our parents are flawed, it's a big step. You're getting older, Lily. It's okay to see the truth. Lily nodded, feeling an unsteady thrill as she absorbed the insight. I just wish I could help him like he helps me, has helped over the years. Maybe you already are, Ellie said, taking her hand. Just by being there and being honest with each other. That might be what he needs more than anything. The music shifted to a fast-paced song, drawing the attention of the group. Ellie squeezed Lily's hand excitedly. Let us dance. It'll help you forget for a while. With hesitation, Lily joined in, swaying and laughing alongside her friends. The joy around her was infectious, and her heart lightened a little more with each breath. Yet, she couldn't shake the thought of her dad's unspoken secrets lingering just beneath the night's surface. As they danced, a single truth gripped Lily. If facing her dad's fears was part of understanding him, then she had to learn how to face her own. Suddenly, she felt a vibration in her pocket. Pulling out her phone, she saw a message from her dad. When you get a chance, can we talk again? I need to share something important. Her heart raced. Another revelation waiting on the horizon? What could he need to share now? Lily, come on. Don't hang back. Ellie called, twirling in the glow of the lights, bringing her back to reality. Could she focus on the fun, or would she have to dive back into her family's chaos? With the tension mounting in her chest, Lily's eyes darted back to her phone. What might her dad say next? Would it bring them closer, or open up new wounds? The uncertainty hung in the air like mist, ready to unveil itself at any moment. Lily's fingers danced over her phone screen, the glow illuminating her face. The party suddenly felt smaller, like the laughter and music were muffled far away. She could almost hear her dad's voice from earlier, thick with emotion, revealing cracks in the narrative she had built around him. It's important, she whispered to herself, feeling the weight of the words. Earth to Lily. Ellie's voice pulled her back, a playful grin on her face. Are you coming to join the living? Lily slipped her phone back into her pocket, a mix of resolve and fear swirling inside her. I'll be right there. Just needed a moment. She forced a smile, but it didn't quite reach her eyes as she rejoined Ellie and the rest of the group. She found herself swaying to the music, though every beat felt a little off. The colorful lights danced over faces glowing with happiness, while her heart felt heavy. The truth about her dad loomed large. Hey, you're smiling, Ellie exclaimed, oblivious to her internal struggle. See, dancing is the cure. Lily laughed lightly, but half of her mind was focused on what her dad could possibly have to share. She couldn't shake the feeling that the night was about to twist into something she wasn't prepared for. A little later, after they danced, Ellie pulled Lily over to the dessert table, a spread of cupcakes, cookies, and a punch bowl that sparkled in the lights. You need sugar. Trust me, it'll help. Lily selected a bright pink cupcake, the frosting mountains high, and took a tentative bite. The sweetness hit her in a way that was both comforting and distracting. She watched as Ellie interacted with nearby friends, each laugh full and resonant. I'm glad you're here, she said to Ellie, feeling a rush of affection. Even with everything going on, it's nice just being with you all. You're not alone, Ellie replied, her voice sincere. And whatever your dad wants to say, you'll handle it. I believe in you. The conviction in Ellie's words soothed her frayed nerves. For now, she could focus on the laughter surrounding her, not knowing when the moment would come to dissect her father's confession. But deep down, she wondered, could she really find a way to navigate this? Suddenly, the music changed again, this time to an acoustic song, tender and slow. Couples began swaying, and the magic in the air shifted. A part of her yearned to share this moment, to feel weightless and present, but a part weighed heavier. The reality that time was running out before she'd face her dad's truth again. I'll be back, Lily told Ellie. I just need a breath of fresh air. She stepped away from the crowd, seeking solace under the vast night sky. Stars twinkled like secrets waiting to be uncovered. Alone in the soft light, she typed a quick reply to her dad. When? The reply came almost instantly. I'm at home. Whenever you're ready. Lily stared at the words, uncertainty filling her. She felt torn between the pull of her party, where laughter made her feel free, and the weight of the conversation waiting for her at home. What did he want to confess? Was it something big, a mistake he couldn't share in front of her? She took a deep breath. Maybe this was not just about him. Maybe it was a chance for her to find understanding, healing. The music faded into the background, and she closed her eyes. In that moment, she realized she had to decide. Would she shy away from the truth, or would she embrace it, ready to face whatever might come next? With a newfound determination, she turned back toward the glow of the party. Her heart was racing, not just from the fear of the unknown, but from the promise of connection both with her father and herself. As she stepped back into the warm light, a powerful thought echoed in her mind. Sometimes facing the storm is the only way to find the calm that follows. But as she crossed the threshold back into the party's embrace, one question loomed large. Could she really handle whatever was waiting for her at home? The next morning, the sun peeked through the thin curtains, spilling soft light into the apartment. Lily awoke, wrapped in the warmth of hope and apprehension. Her mind buzzed, swirling with thoughts of the conversations she and Jake had shared. They had stepped into the unknown together, but now the weight of curiosity and unease loomed above them like the last storm cloud after rain. Dad, she called out softly, padding to the kitchen, where she found Jake leaning over the table, absorbed in his notes. His face lit up at the sound of her voice. "Can we talk?" He turned, his smile both inviting and nervous. "Of course, sweetheart. I'm glad you're here." Lily settled into a chair across from him, the space between them feeling like an uncharted territory. "I was thinking about last night about everything you shared." Jake's expression shifted, a mix of pride and fear flickering in his eyes. "I didn't mean to overwhelm you. I just wanted to be honest." "No, it's okay," Lily said, her voice steadying. "I want to know more. We said we'd face things together. I think it's important." Jake nodded, a sense of relief washing over his features. "All right. There's more I haven't mentioned, things I thought would be better left unsaid." Taking a deep breath and locking eyes with him, Lily sensed the shift in the energy around them. "What is it?" she urged. Jake's hands gripped the edge of the table, and he began. "The reason I became a janitor," his voice dropped, heavy with the burden of honesty. "After your mom left, I tried to put everything back together. I lost myself in pride and the need to be strong, but part of that strength was running from my mistakes." Lily felt her pulse quicken as he continued. "I had a mentor once, someone who believed in me. When I fell, he was gone, and I felt trapped in shame. I pushed people away, thinking I could handle it alone, but instead, it left me more isolated." "Is this about your addiction?" she asked, leaning forward, sensing the vulnerability in his words. "Yes. I didn't just fight external demons. I created battles within myself that I didn't know how to overcome. I was so ashamed I couldn't share that with you. I wanted to protect you from my failures. But you're not that person anymore," she replied, her tone firm yet gentle. "You fought back." Jake smiled faintly, tears glistening in his eyes. "I did. And through every challenge, all I've wanted was for you to have a path free from those burdens. I want to be more for you, to inspire and guide you." Lily's heart swelled. "Dad, you have. Even through your struggles, you've taught me strength. You've shown me that we can choose to rise." For the first time, Jake saw her, really saw her. He reached across the table and took her hand, squeezing it gently. "Then let us rise together. I want you to know that it's okay to fail. I don't want you to hide from your truth the way I hid from mine." Tears filled Lily's eyes as clarity washed over them both. They had been navigating life's complexities separately, stitching together their narratives without fully seeing one another. "We're both fighting our own battles," she murmured, realizing how intertwined yet distinct their paths had been. "Yes, but we're also in the same team," Jake said, softening. "This journey isn't just about me being a janitor or you being the daughter of a janitor. It's about being honest, vulnerable, and working towards our dreams. Together." "Together," Lily echoed, her smile radiant now. "Let us be open. I want to lead my life in a way that shows I'm more than just labels too." As they sat there, hands interlocked and hearts burgeoning with newfound understanding, the remnants of uncertainty faded away. The door creaked open, interrupting their moment. Lily's eyes darted to the entrance. It was Ellie, her presence bursting with energy. "Hey, are you two ready to face the day? The world needs your magic." Lily laughed, the heaviness lifting like fog in the morning sun. "We're coming." As they stood up, Jake shared a knowing glance with Lily, a pact forged in understanding. The external world would throw its challenges, but they'd confront them together, hand in hand, ready for whatever came next. Days turned into weeks, and Jake bravely took his night classes while Lily painted vibrant canvases that showcased the depths of her soul and innate brilliance. Their bond deepened as they navigated their unique journeys. For each step forward, they leaned on one another, lifting the weight of expectations and fears, choosing instead to embrace the beauty of connection over titles. Their story, once draped in uncertainty, transformed into a tapestry of resilience, laughter, and love. Through every setback, they learned to communicate clearly and supportively, ensuring they'd never drift apart again. As the seasons changed, so did they, and in that growth lay a promise that they'd always choose each other. In the end, the hollowness of labels faded, leaving behind a beautiful mosaic made of shared truths, hopes, and dreams. And they both knew this was just the beginning of their journey toward endless possibilities. So, if you felt this connection, if you believe in the power of transformation and love, you need to subscribe now. This is the moment to show your support. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Let us spread this message together. And don't forget to comment your feelings about this ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Don't wait, not even one more second. Only the true fans understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions. Let's keep the love alive.